Just a moment.
I've been playing this every day since it came out. My thumbs hurt from playing it so much, and I know I should give it a rest, but don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, This is such a pleasant experience after slogging through Pro Skater 5 and the board peripheral games. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is billed as a full remaster, but it's actually a bit more than that. The original roster of pros is back, complemented by a few new additions like Aori Nishimura and Shane O'Neill, as well as pros featured in past games like Letitia Buffoni and Nyjah Houston, who I'd imagine is glad to have the stink of Tony Hawk ride behind him.
The rules for the game of skate are simple, man. When I land a trick, you gotta copy it. I can't believe you beat me!
Nice!
The levels are all the same, save for a few minor environmental changes here and there, but man do they look nice in the remaster. Better than the skaters themselves, actually. Everything runs smoothly, everything's animated well, yeah, there are hiccups here and there, like when I randomly T-posed after jumping off a rail. And I did have frame rate dips in some multiplayer instances. Collision detection with some walls can be an issue too, which they solved with a respawn and some fourth wall breaking text. Thankfully it doesn't happen often enough to be a significant problem. I've only had it happen 3 times across dozens of hours of play. The music is mostly the same as the soundtracks for 1 and 2, but with weird censorship for different words than before. They added a few new songs, both old school and new, and I was happy to see the likes of Real Big Fish and A Tribe Called Quest added to the lineup. They even added the Pro Skater 4 playlist feature to turn off the songs you don't like, which I love being able to do. It's just a shame I can't play any of that music in this video without risking the misguided wrath of YouTube's Content ID system. Structurally, the game is mostly like 1 and 2. 2 minutes, complete objectives, get medals in competitions, etc. Mechanically, it's less 1 and 2 and more a mix of all the pro skaters. Manuals are there, since 2 introduced those, but also included are things like the reverts from 3, the flat ground from 4, wall plants, spine transfers, acid drops, and the slam mechanic and popping off rails instead of bailing from 5 are not here. There were also a few extra goals added to some levels, presumably to make up for how the game handles goal completion. Unlike the original games where completing it with one skater didn't translate any progress to the others, here finishing all the goals and competitions with one skater means every other skater can access any level and doesn't have to complete any goals. All they have to do is find stat points, if you really want to max out everyone, which can make full completion pretty dull. In an effort to make up for this, there are hundreds of challenges to complete in the game, including several character-specific ones. Challenges give extra money to use to buy decks, wheels, apparel, and park editor pieces, and experience to level up to unlock more things to buy, and sometimes an extra deck design or an emblem. Yes, the emblems are back from 5, and several of them require doing things like buying or downloading Call of Duty games to unlock. At least it's just an emblem being locked behind this bullshit, I guess? They also included a couple classic unlockable characters like Officer Dick, portrayed here by Jack Black, and the Roswell alien, which may or may not be the same alien from Underground 2. Sadly, Private Carrera seems to be MIA for this one. Whether or not it's because she's an allusion to a real-life porn star, I can't say. I'm honestly surprised they didn't try throwing in any other secret characters, like... shit, I don't know. Conan O'Brien with all his stats set to 1? Or Darby Allin with a coffin-shaped skateboard or something? Even with the challenges, a number of these are the same across several people. Some are really basic, like dumping a bunch of shit into a created park. Others offer a decent challenge and force the player to explore and get creative with skate lines. But a number of the broader ones are absolutely absurd to do, like grinding or holding lip tricks or manuals for a cumulative total of 10 hours. Or doing 100,000 flip tricks. There are perfect balance mods for free skate, so you could leave a skater in a grind or manual or whatever for hours if you really wanted. It's like unlocking Mewtwo in Melee all over again. Even then, I can't complete some of these challenges because they're straight up broken. The challenge to play in a custom park with more than 1,000 votes doesn't work. The challenges to place in the top 4 of multiplayer jam sessions, they only count when you finish first. The Big Time Builder challenge for Create a Parks, it's tied to one of the premier decks but is not listed in the challenges, and as of my writing this, there is no information out there for how to unlock it. Multiplayer plays a prominent role, both locally and online. Up to 8 people can enter a quick jam session or competitive session and compete in a series of objectives that cycle through each map. There's no option for choosing what mode to play or what map to play it on, and while I like that graffiti mode is back, having 8 different colors at once makes it rough on my colorblindness, particularly when 3 or 4 of the colors are just different shades of blue. It's also disappointing that while you can make a party of friends, there's no option to free skate with them, or even play a game of horse. Overall, the multiplayer's nice, but damn, it could be so much better than this. The level creep gets really bad in the later stages, with the most amount of points possible from a single run being about 225 points. And that's only if you have a top score and combo, and do one grind for really long, and do one manual for really long, and do one lip trick for really long. Meanwhile, thousands of points are required by the time level 60 rolls around, and tens of thousands by the 70s and 80s. Couple that with only earning about $5 for most runs, and unlocking everything actually becomes a chore, even when doing the more rewarding challenges. Assuming they work. There's a trophy for reaching level 100, and it's the only one I don't have. But by the time I reach that, the PS6 will be out. At least they added a couple other things to do on the single player side, but even these have drawbacks. There's a separate mode to do individual free skate and skate sessions, as well as a speedrun mode for each non-competition stage where you complete all the goals as fast as possible. As someone who loosely follows pro skater speedruns, it's nice to have a proper leaderboard for individual stages. But the structure of the main single-player option makes full game speedruns way harder to do without either wiping your game data or starting a new profile for every single attempt. Mechanically, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is exactly what I was hoping it would be, and the core gameplay has me hooked. However, the weird adjustments made to single-player progression, the halfway there multiplayer options, and secondary features that don't work properly, or at all, like how sometimes spin tapping won't work unless you go to the gameplay options, turn them off, and turn them back on again, are disappointing, even considering this is $40 new. I still can't say I don't recommend it, because if you have even a passing interest in the Pro Skater games, you'll get your fix from this. And who knows? Maybe if you're like me and got discouraged from skateboarding because of an injury or 5, maybe it'll rekindle that interest.